Hello, everybody, and we're back from a snow-related hiatus. Welcome to the January 28th Trips and Traps. I'm Andy Serling, Eric Donovan.
6 races to bring you, seemingly spanning the whole month of January, because we'll go back to the 13th. Will be our first race, but we'll have 2 separate segments. And why don't we get started on January 13th? Race number 6, the Liku Overnight Stakes for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up. New York breds. We're going to look at the 6-horse in here. I'm sorry, the 8-horse, Big Brownie.
Yeah, Big Brownie is a horse that improved dramatically off a trainer change to Leah Giamatti to win a stake here, a New York Stallion Stakes, and she really ran very well in this race. Thought a couple of horses, Layla Ben, an improving horse who is second right now, ran okay here as well, but boy, Big Brownie just got one of those wide trips in a big field going 2 turns to nowhere.
Yeah, this was a good field too. I mean, this was a top field of New York bred fillies and mares, and just being where she is now and having to make up this ground and this run on the first turn here, it's going to take a lot out of her. Yeah,
it's one of these situations where Big Brownie, you see her moving up towards the back of the field on the outside right here, and she was back to last in the turn. She never had a breather at any point in the race. She was forced to do running from the start to the finish. And even though the winner comes from well back in here, our Betty Grable, who was second choice and probably should have been favored, she was able to save some ground and relax. But Big Brownie was always on the move and always wide.
Yeah, you see right there, still wide and out in the middle of the track, and everyone else that's going to run in the top 2 spots here. Our Betty Grable, Shine Upon, they're both saving ground at this point here. And the pace will come apart a little bit in terms of the top 2 runners. You had a big long shot out in the lead, and Bob's Dillon is going to actually fade to last. But here comes a wide move here from Big Brownie again.
Yeah, Big Brownie, and don't forget the horse who's sitting the pocket trip was the one. That was the favorite to run second here. Big Brownie making the move up here. The eventual winner is back there actually, but she lets the running be done. The one saves the ground, the pocket. All these horses had a much better dynamic to Big Brownie, who was just moving the whole way, and now she's moving up the lead. She's 4 to 5 wide. As the winner will swoop by her here even, you'll sort of see the winner doesn't really come over. Maybe the horse inside comes out a little bit. At this point, I don't think it's unreasonable to think she's going to finish about 8th in this race. What's amazing is she actually regathers herself. Now, a bit of it's an illusion because she's better than the other horses, and they were tiring behind her, but even so, I don't think it would have been surprising if she finished anywhere back in the field, yet she's able to regroup herself and finish a distant 3rd. I don't think either one of us are telling you we think that she's good enough to beat our Betty Grable won this race. I'm not sure that Shine Upon, who finished second in this race, has a big edge about her. Big Brownie is a horse who's improving with leaps and bounds and belongs with these horses.
I agree. I think next time out it'll be, I would take my chances of Big Brownie here, and our Betty Grable will be a short price, and okay, maybe Big Brownie would just run second, maybe, and who knows, maybe she's good enough to win.
It'll be a lot closer. She is really, this was a really interesting race because it was coming on the heels of that big improvement. The question was, would she move forward, or was that just an explosion in a sort of the right spot off the trainer change? Big Brownie, she'll be heard from.
All right, let's take a look at our second race in this segment, January 16th, race number 2, a state-bred maiden claiming race. We're going to look at the 7 Pop-Ups Posse, the 10 Iron Lou. They both break a little slowly.
Yeah, they're both first-time stars. One was a Rick Dutcher horse, the 10 Iron Lou, who was second, so one of the favorites in this race, maybe even the favorite. Iron Lou was a first-time, Pop-Ups Posse, a first-time star for Sandy Hernandez with Fernando Hara. Obviously didn't take much money. Both of them were firsters. Iron Lou's going to be a short price next time and may very well win. Runs extremely well in here. And remember, the winner of this race, Foley's 5, broke a step slow but wires the field. Whereas Iron Lou, way back. Pop-Ups Posse. It's in another county at this point.
I think Pop-Ups Posse actually did take a little money in here. 19 to 1 to go off. Yeah. Sandino Hernandez first or Fernando Hara. I mean, this horse could have been 30, 40, 50 to 1. So to be under 20 to 1, says they thought that maybe he could run a little bit. And we'll see at the end where he actually ends up here. But Iron Lou's going to make this long run from breaking slowly. You see in the red silks out there in 5th now, making that 3-wide bid around the turn. Iron Lou's going to run a big race here.
Yeah, Iron Lou was clearly the best horse in this race, and it was a tough beauty loss. But as we head into the stretch, and roll it up, there we go, guys. Here's Iron Lou making that long slide stay run. All the way back here is Pop-Ups Posse, and this horse is way back. And I didn't even get a sense in watching the head on the stretch and watching here. And you watch Fernando Hara. I mean, it's not. He knows he's got no chance to get any part of it. It's not like he abused this horse. Iron Lou has ridden hard. Pop-Ups Posse, maybe the field's collapsing a little bit at the end, but he ran all right in the stretch.
Yeah, only going to be beat 6 1/4 lengths, and we see Iron Lou still plugging away on the outside there, trying to get to Foley's 5. Not going to happen, but keep your eye out for the 7 Pop-Ups Posse in light blue silks. We're going to try to freeze it right on the wire to show you exactly where Pop-Ups Posse ends up in here. Might be a little bit tough to see, but we'll do our best. Right there, but the rest of the pack, not in the top 3, but right there with the middle of the pack there for a horse that broke slowly and was way out of it at the top of the stretch. Did a lot of running late.
Yeah, and a fine job by the truck, by the way,
yes.
Freezing that right at the wire. Nice job, but yeah. Pop-Ups Posse, no superstar. We're running these maiden races, and we're not finding superstars in any of these fields. This is a first-time star that could easily run a lot better, and after breaking slowly, we often see a horse like Pop-Ups Posse has a lot more speed the next time. Not saying it's going to be gunning for the lead, but unlikely to be as out of it as it was in this race.
Well, the other thing, too, is that the race really didn't collapse. I mean, Foley's 5, the winner, went to the lead, so it wasn't like, you see horses break slow sometimes. There's a fast pace. They can overcome that because of the fast pace. Not the case here with Pop-Ups Posse.
Right. Obviously, it's more pronounced for Iron Lou, but Iron Lou next time you run could be even money.
Right. One more race on this first segment of Trips and Traps. We'll turn our attention to January 17th, race number 6. We're looking at the 5, Bulls and Bears, the 6, Fiery Forest.
Listen, we're not singing the praise of either of these horses. And Bulls and Bears, the 5 horse here in the red cap, and the yellow silks, we've got the 6, Fiery Forest. In my opinion, Fiery Forest is the best horse in the race and benefited from a weak ride. Bulls and Bears is a question mark, a horse who had started out very well for Rick Violet, big extended layoffs, drop downs, etc. But when you're stretching horses out like Bulls and Bears, a sprinter type, you must go to the lead. Long shots are not in the front end. This was a very passive ride, and the idea is he should have been up here. He shouldn't have been where he was back there. Fiery Forest, and you watch what happens with this passivity continues as these horses go from sitting 3rd and 4th at a slow pace to actually ending up 5th and 6th, and Fiery Forest is practically leaving the screen at this point. You're supposed to maintain your position better than this.
I agree with Fiery Forest. Not so sure I agree with you 100% on Bulls and Bears. I see your point in that, it would have been nice to send in the lead, but on the other hand, at this point, you're stalking 2 long shots. You're the 2 longest shots in the field, a 14-1 and a 20-1, and I don't know. I mean, I can't fault him that much. Yeah, he could have gone in the lead, might have changed the race a little bit.
I believe this is one of the reasons Ramon Dominguez wins races like this. He does not fool around. He goes to the front. He says, I'm riding what may be the best horse. I need to be on the front end. I will establish that. When the horse doesn't win, when it doesn't driven by success the other day, and he can't get it, so be it. It's not going to be my fault because I was out of position. Now he lets the winner, Rafael Alexandro, inside of her. He ends up 4 wide in the turn. Fiery Forest is still back in last. Why leave a little bit? Get yourself in position at a slow pace. Lose all your position. Now, Bulls and Bears will quit badly, and that's a fair point that you're saying. His career is not exactly on an upswing, but he was not given his best chance to win. Fiery Forest, and the poor thing he makes, you look at the second place horse who you would like to actually got a great ride here, saving ground coming out. Fiery Forest wide, dropping out of it the whole way. A different ride he could have won.
Fiery Forest only gets beat 2 1/4 here, and did have a lot to overcome from the top of the stretch home, and all in all, a good effort from Fiery Forest. I think you're right about him. Like I said, Bulls and Bears not really sure what they're going to do with them. Next time maybe they turn him back. I don't know if they're going to keep him going long.
No, I agree. He has question marks. I just think he's better than this, and it's also a situation of you have to go into these 2-turn races with a game plan. And if somebody wants to gun, that's one thing, but they were crawling out front. Anyway, we love to hear your comments. We can use all the help we can get. Trips and Traps at NYRAinc.com.
Come on back for the second segment.